Hello, welcome to the Pedestal Society. My name is Braille. If this is the first time you have been with me, make sure you put something down in the comment section, either on the replay or currently if you're in the live stream now. So I'm going to wait for Instagram and YouTube to kind of fill up for you ladies to get in here. And I'm going to talk about things that you can do to take back everything that 2023 took from you in 2024. So if you're one of those women that 2023 wasn't nice to you, it wasn't kind to you, you did not have a good 2023, maybe it's time to make some changes. So I'm going to give you some things that you can do, some things that you can utilize so that you can make that change. And then you can take everything that 2023 stole from you, everything that 23 took from you, everything you did not receive in 2023, 2024 is going to be the year. It's going to be the year we're going to go for everything that we desire, everything that we want, everything that we can dream about. So let's talk about it. Let's get into it. Hey, Daisy B, happy Wednesday. Girl, thank you for reminding me because I don't even know. My life is that beautiful. I do not know. I did not know today was Wednesday. I was thinking it was Thursday. I wasn't quite sure. So thank you for putting me on to what day it is. It is Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. So before we get started, make sure that you can hear me from Instagram to YouTube. Make sure that you can hear me. Let me give me some type of confirmation that you can hear me on Instagram. You can see and hear me. And then we're going to go ahead and jump in the conversation. The conversation, Instagram, is take back everything 2023 took from you in 2024. And we're going to talk about a lot of things in this conversation today. You already know the routine. I may or may not complete the live stream on Instagram. So you want to make sure that you're aware of the link that's in the stories that will take you over to YouTube because I'm always going to finish up on YouTube. All right. So, yeah, Stacey would be thank you, thank you, thank you. First of all, reduce your blame and increase the accountability. But let me pause right there. If your accountability looks like guilt, if your accountability looks like what if your accountability looks like blame, keep it to yourself. Because accountability is not. Accountability is the acceptance of a situation and making better choices going forward. If your accountability looks like that, then I need you to reduce the blame and increase the accountability. The more that you are in acceptance of your past decisions and you're ready to move forward with different decision making, you will have a better 2024. What did not work for you in 2023, do not carry it into 2024. This is the year of transformation. This is the year of change. This is the year of going back after everything that was taken from us in 2023. So we cannot do what is the definition of insanity, doing the same things over and over that did not work for us in 2023. So reduce the blame and increase the accountability. But if you hold guilt surrounding your accountability, keep it to yourself. Put it in your back pocket. If you have blame because you're considering being accountable this year, keep it to yourself. Put it in your back pocket because that's not the type of accountability that we're looking for. That's not the kind of accountability that's going to actually change our life. That's the only thing that's going to keep you stuck. It's going to keep you stuck if you continue to look at accountability in the form of blame, shame, and guilt. So keep that in your back pocket. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about ruminating of all your past mistakes and all the things you did wrong and the what if narrative that you have going on in your head. I'm literally talking about you having accountability, making better decisions and choices going forward into 2024. That is how you're going to take your power back. You're not going to take your power back ruminating on the past. The past is done. You cannot change anything. You cannot go back in time. So there's no reason of ruminating and thinking about the what if and holding so much guilt and blame about your decisions, the decisions you made with the information that you had at the time. You did not have enough information, so you made the best decision that you could make at that time. So why are you constantly holding so much guilt and blame instead of moving forward in accountability and making better decisions and choices? That's what's going to change your 2024. It's not going to do anything for you if you continue to go into 2024 with the same old thinking and the same old decisions. So it's time to move forward and take your power back and take everything that 2023 took from you, and 2024 is about to see you. It's about to see you looking different, acting different, making different decisions, moving in accountability instead of guilt, blame, and shame. So if you are that person, I'm speaking to you. Yes, I'm speaking to you. The ones that hold guilt, Every time you make a decision, you made a bad decision, it didn't work out, oh well. You made a bad decision, you're holding a lot of guilt and shame about it, oh well. Put it in your back pocket and move forward, because there's nothing you can do about it now. Only thing you can do is to have acceptance in your heart and move with different decisions. So I'm talking to you. If this applies to you, this is how you can begin your 2024 off with a bang. You're going to take everything back that you lost in 2023. 2023 does not have to be the same as 2024. You can actually move differently now that you have different information. The next thing is your world is shouting at you. Your world is screaming at you. It is shouting at you. It's giving you signs and signals. The world that you create is a reflection of you. Your friends, your family, the men that you date, the friends you entertain, the job that you have, everything, every decision, every choice is a reflection of who you are. If you don't understand the signs and signals, it's time for you to be quiet and sit down and be still, so that you can focus in on the signs and signals, because everything that you have in your life and in your current world, and if you decide I want to take my power back in 2024, I don't want to live the same in 2023 that I lived last year, and you want something different, you need to start looking at the world that you created, because the world that you created is your reality, and your reality is a reflection of you. Your reality is a reflection of the disrespect you're willing to accept. Your reality is a reflection of the people that you date. Your reality is a reflection of the people you have chosen to interact with and befriend. Your reality is a reflection of you. Everyone is reflecting back to you who you truly are. And one of the things I want you to ask you a question, because so many people push back at that. Everyone believes that someone else, like you're so eager to give your power to someone else. So you believe in someone else and some external forces, the devil, is everything else coming against you. And you're not looking at the signs and signals that's in your current reality. I want you to ask yourself, why do they feel safe disrespecting me? Why do they feel safe abusing me? Why do they feel safe mishandling me? Why do they feel safe treating me the way that they're treating you? Why do people feel safe doing that to you? Because you have a high tolerance of nonsense and shenanigans. You have a high tolerance of getting along to go along. You have a high tolerance of concerning yourself about being liked and accepted instead of being rejected or judged. You're so concerned about that you don't even pay attention to signs and signals that are reflecting back to you yourself. Every decision that you make is all reflection. But you refuse to accept that reflection because you want to throw that off on external things. You want to throw that off on, maybe that's a bad friend. Maybe it's that guy. Maybe he just didn't know what he wanted. Or he had a bad childhood. Or he doesn't know how to treat women. You want to throw all of those things off on something else. And what happens, the more that you distance yourself from those decisions, the more that you miss the signals and signs of the reflection. Your world, you created it. You accepted that friendship. You accepted that relationship. You accepted that situation. You accepted that experience. But if you decide to continue to not look at the signs and signals that your current world is giving you, you can't ever take your power back and make any changes. You have to be willing to look at the signs and signals that your current reality is giving you, because everybody's a reflection of the decisions you make, of who you are, of what you're willing to accept, and the nonsense you're willing to tolerate. Stop giving your love to people who aren't ready to love you. I don't care about their childhood. I don't care about their past. I don't care about the situation. Some of us, we're doing too much to gain that love or approval from that person. So you're going to have to stop giving your love to people who aren't ready to love you. Stop having hard conversations with people who don't want to change. Stop showing up for people who don't care for your presence. Stop making people a priority for people who don't even make you an option. Stop trying to save everyone. Like, this is one of the things I find in women. That's the reason why I love working with women. I only work with women because women have this need to save people. They get new information and they get new experiences, and they become more wiser, and they want to pass it down to someone. So they go in and they look at saving other people. You are not Superwoman. Stop trying to save everybody. The more you continue to try to save everybody, you can't save yourself. The more that you try to make sure that other people don't make a mistake, you're making a lot of mistakes. Stop being Superwoman. You were never meant to be that. It was never meant to be your job. It was never meant to be your burden. but you keep trying. Every year you keep thinking of how you can save him or how you can save her. Even down to your kids, baby girl, as a woman who has older adult children, sometimes they don't want to be saved. And you need to save your energy for when they're ready to be saved. So you can be ready. You can have those prayers ready for them. You can have that inspired action ready for them, but you can't give to them when they're not even open to it. They don't even want to be saved. That's the reason why I don't even be concerned about all the nonsense on social media. That nonsense doesn't even penetrate my bubble, my reality, because I understand that if you love it, I like it. I'm not here to save you. You have to save yourself. There's no one coming to save you. But you're so eager to jump into being superwoman and saving everybody else. They're not even open to being saved. They don't even want to be saved. They don't even desire to be saved. But here you're so concerned about her situation and how she's being treated and who she's with and what's happening to her. And baby, they don't even want to be saved. They're happy in your situation. If she loves it, baby, I like it. It is none of my business. Save your energy for when it's time. Save your energy to when they're ready to listen, when they're ready and they want your assistance and they want help. But right now, you're wasting your energy trying to save people who do not want to be saved. And sometimes this means that you're going to have to leave people behind. Everyone is not. Everyone isn't meant to go along on the journey. Everyone isn't meant to go where you're going. Sometimes God is pushing you in a whole nother direction. And you see here, sitting here, hold up, God, I can't take that blessing because I'm waiting on them. I'm waiting on him. I'm waiting on her. I'm waiting on everybody else. You waiting on everybody else, but that blessing, baby, was for you. You were meant to save yourself. He sent you. He sent you the blessing. He put it in your hands, but you were rejecting the blessing because you're so busy trying to be superwoman. Stop trying to save everybody else. Everybody didn't want to be saved. Some people actually will try to drown you because you're trying to save them because they don't want to be saved. They don't want your assistance. They don't want your advice. They don't want nothing from you. Healing is in everyday life. I'm sure when we have gotten here to this point, we feel like that since we have not healed, that we do not deserve. I don't know when we've gotten to this point where we feel like it's going to be someone else that's going to make sure that we heal. Healing is an inside job. Healing is in every day, in every decision that we make. You need to do things that your future self is going to be proud of you. Every single day, you have a choice. You have a choice, and every version of you is available to you. But if you make a choice to continue to be the same person that you were yesterday, then you never get to please the future version of yourself. So if you want to be better and you want to take your power back and get everything you lost in 2023 and go for it in 2024 in power, health, and love, then you need to be willing to please your future self. You need to be willing to dig deep and step in to the shoes of your future self. You need to be asking yourself those hard questions. Is this pleasing to my future self? If I'm looking to be a woman that's maybe a spoiled housewife, provided for, loved on, then I want to make decisions and I'm not dating men who can't even do that. I want you to start asking yourself, is this pleasing to my future self? Is my future self going to be pleased with my decision? Is my future self going to be pleased with my choices? Is my future self going to be pleased that I am getting up and doing the thing every single day? Healing is in everyday life. Just because you ain't healed yet don't mean you don't deserve. But you do have to take those inspired actions, those nudgings, that connection. You do have to do something. You shouldn't be putting your healing off on someone else. I can't do the job for you. The only thing I can do is supporting God. Any woman who have done that work underneath my membership or in my workshops or any of my community, they did that work because they put the action behind their healing. They did the work. All I did was support. All I did was guide. I didn't have to do the heavy lifting because they were willing to do the heavy lifting. They were willing to do the work of processing their emotions. They're willing to do the work of getting rid of their triggers. They're willing to do the work of forgiving themselves. They're willing to do that work. So if you're looking for someone else to come across and wave the magic wand and heal you, baby, you're going to be waiting. You're going to be waiting on that because that's not how healing works. Healing is in every day. It's in every decisions that you make. It's in making sure that your future self is pleased. Nobody's thinking about you. Like, I hate to be the bearer of bad news because now we live in a society of somewhat of narcissism where people think that people are thinking about them. Nobody thinking about you. Most people are thinking about themselves. Most people are concerned about their lives. Most people are concerned about, am I doing the right thing? Most people are concerned about, am I in the right situation? Most people are concerned, am I making more money? Most people are concerned, am I in the right friendship group? Am I in the right circle? Am I doing the right thing for my life? Most people are so focused on themselves, they didn't think about you. But some of you all think that people are really thinking about you. They're not. So you holding yourself back from experiencing and going out here and do new things and meeting new people because you thinking they're going to be looking at you and judging you and rejecting you and not accepting you. You think they're so focused on what you're doing. I'm going to tell you and be the bearer of bad news. And maybe some of you need to hear it. Nobody thinking about you. Most people think about themselves. Most people think about their lunch. Most people thinking about what they got to cook for dinner. Most people think about their kids. Most people think about their man or husband. Most people are thinking about, am I making the right decision? Most people thinking about, am I saving for retirement? Most people think about, am I a millionaire or am I a thousandaire? Most people think about what's in my bank account. Most people think about themselves. They're not thinking about you. Nobody thinking about you. The only person thinking about you is you. But you have amplified it to such a level where you're not even living life because you think everybody thinking about you. Nobody accepting you, honestly. Nobody think about you. If you go in with this mentality, nobody think about you, and you start thinking more about yourself and focusing on how you can live your best life and how you can become a better version, baby, you'll take everything that 2023 took from you because you be self-centered. You be focused on yourself and what you're accomplishing for yourself and making sure that your future self is pleased. But the more time that you remove yourself from life and you're not living it because you're more concerned about what people thinking about you and nobody think about you. You're not that important. You're more important to you than you think. You're thinking about them. They're thinking about themselves. Nobody think about you. You get it? Nobody think about you. Not so whatsoever. So you girls who are very shy, who you don't want to go places, you're concerned about how people are going to look at you. You're concerned about if you're going to fit in, if you're going to be accepted. Guess what? Nobody think about you. They're thinking about themselves. Majority of us are thinking about ourselves and how we show up in our presence in the world and what we want in it. We're not thinking about what you are bringing because it doesn't help us. It doesn't help us become better. Nobody thinking about you. Stop defining your life based on how you think you are being seen. The beautiful thing about life is that you can approach multitude of people, and every different person will have a different version of you. Some people believe that you're the villain, and that's okay. Some people believe you're the hero. Some people believe that you're beautiful. Some people believe that you're dumb. Some people believe that you're smart. You don't have any control about the different versions of you that are out there. You can't control how people view you and the image they have of you or the belief they have of you. So stop trying to control it. The more that you try to fit in a box and try to get everybody to be on the same page about you, the more that you lose time in taking back everything that 2023 took from you and getting it in 2024. You can't get it because you're so concerned about what Timmy's version of you is, or you want Timmy's version to line up with Tommy's version. And I'm going to tell you it won't. Some men, they're going to look at you as you're beautiful. Some men are going to look at you as you're intelligent. Some men are going to look at you as you're ugly. Some men are going to look at you as you're the best thing since sliced bread. Some men are going to look at you as your wife. Some men are going to look at you as your girlfriend. Some men are going to look at you as your nothing. So why care? Because you can't control the many versions of you that are out there. The multitude of images that people have of you, the multitude of beliefs that people have about you, you can't control them. What you can control, though, is how you see you. That is what you can control. And that's what you should focus in on. You should focus more in on what you believe you are and what image you want to present. It doesn't matter if they don't get it because they may not get it. They weren't meant to get it. You can control how people perceive you or see you or the image they have of you. You can't control that you're the villain in someone else's story. You can't control that. So why concern yourself about trying to control it? But when you are a people pleaser, you want everybody to have the same image or beliefs about you when it's impossible. It was never meant to be because the things that you made that other people may see as cute and intriguing, they may see as though it's dumb and ugly. And you can't control that. Only thing you control is what you think, how you feel, and what beliefs that you have. You can only control yourself and your presence. And that's what you should focus in on. Don't worry about what other people think of the image that they have of you and their beliefs about you, because you will never get it right. You're always going to be fighting the wind trying to get that right. I found so many women are trying to figure out how to please and how to come across pleasing and how to do this right and how to be the hero and try to be accepted, because it's a part of our nature as women. We want to be accepted. We want to be a part of the community. But this is a losing battle. It's literally like fighting the wind. And have you ever fought the wind and lost? I fought the wind and lost. I do it daily. The wind always wins. So stop trying to control people's images and beliefs about you, because you're never going to win. It's like fighting the wind. Stop running in circles. Like, stop running in circles and expect change. The definition of insanity is to do the same thing over and over and over. Nobody can save you but yourself. Stop running in circles. Stop doing the same thing over and over and expecting change. Stop thinking that if this person was different, or that person said this different, or if that person did this different, things would change. Stop running in circles. The more that you continue to throw that responsibility of change off on of someone else, the harder it will be to take your power back and actually have change in life. So you have to stop running in circles and do the thing that's going to make the change happen. It is healthy to feel. The more that you resist emotions, the more that they linger. Processing emotions and releasing them and moving it on is the way to go. I don't like the conversation. I don't like the training where people are trying to teach you to ignore and never have emotions, because in your emotions is the messages, is the level up. The level up happens when you're able to dig deep and into those emotions. But when you ignore them and you bury them deeply, they're going to linger longer. When you could have just took a few minutes, just cried it out. You could have just took a few minutes and just got on the floor and had a tantrum. You could have just took a few minutes and released all the anger. Instead, you're going to continue to have it linger when you could have just got rid of it and released it. You could have just let it go. You could have just been better. Instead, now you're just holding on to all these emotions, and holding on to emotions have a different effect on women. They are the reasons that we have there's certain diseases that affect women, because we have unhealed and unprocessed emotions sitting in the body. Honor being yourself. Like, I don't know why we're here with this separate wives of social media where everybody's starting to look alike, talk alike, sound alike, give the same advice, but it's actually more unique when you start being yourself. When you start rejecting trying to fit in and have courage to stand out and have courage not to be like. It takes a very powerful person with a lot of courage to not be liked and to still stand on their values, their beliefs, their morals, and standing on who they truly are. So honor yourself. Reject this mentality, this energy that's about in 2024 of copying and emulating others and being what they are instead of being what you need to be for yourself. Stop rejecting yourself and disrespecting yourself in that way. You want respect. You want respect. You want respect, but you disrespect yourself every day. You disrespect yourself every single time that you feel that someone else is better. Someone else's ideas, beliefs, everything else is better about that person versus who you are at the core. Who you are at your core is unique to you. That's what makes you you. That's what makes you beautiful. That's what makes you attractive. Honor yourself. There's nothing wrong with being authentic. There's nothing wrong with being yourself. There's nothing wrong with rejecting ideals, beliefs, decisions, experiences that do not align to where you're going. Honestly, I would say reject it even more, push back even more, because the more that we have this energy of copying and emulating and becoming the Stepford wives of social media is what I call it, where everybody's starting to look alike, talk alike, give the same advice. They're not even unique in doing it. It's good for the algorithm, but it's not good for overall womanhood. or being yourself or being authentic. Find your voice. Stop sitting around scared to speak. Most people are focused on themselves and not you anyway. So the more that you sit around and you push down your voice and you refuse to speak up and you hide from speaking up from other people because you're scared of what other people are going to say or how you're going to be judged, or you may be rejected by what you have to say, speak up anyway. Find your voice. Finding your voice and being able to speak up for yourself is a game changer. Being able to say, I don't like this, I'm uncomfortable with this, that's not going to work for me, that's not good for me, I feel like that's the wrong thing for me, I can't do, well, I'm not going to do that because I don't like the word can't. But being able to find your voice is a game changer in this society. You have to have a voice. You cannot allow yourself to get in situations where you are more concerned about being liked and being accepted that you just go alone and you don't even speak up for yourself. And here you are sitting here trembling and scared to say anything about it when most people are not concerned about you anyway. They're going to be more concerned and more respect that you will have. They would give to you when you actually speak up for yourself. I found that people respect you more when you speak up, when you actually stand on your square, when you actually stand up for yourself, when you actually stand on your values, you actually stand on what you believe in. People have more respect for you. Even if they don't believe in what you believe in or they disagree with what you're saying, they still respect you because you had the guts to speak up. Especially in this time and age, most people don't want to say anything because they're scared of being canceled. They're scared of triggering other people. They're scared of getting losing all their followers. As you can see, I am not concerned. I didn't get in this for followers, likes, and views. People only take you as serious as you take yourself. People only take you as seriously as you take yourself. See, that's the reason why some of you have a high tolerance for nonsense. And your life is a reflection of that. That's the reason why you have such chaos and so many things out of place in your life, and you are wandering around in the forest. That's the reason why your life is set up the way it is set up, because of the fact that you are not taking yourself serious. One of the things that I get all the time on my content and in my platform, I get this question probably every 3 months. You're too serious. And I realized then that they are too open to nonsense. The reason why people don't feel comfortable playing in my face, or they don't feel comfortable doing certain things, and I don't ever have to handle the disrespect that you have to handle, the disrespect that you handle every single day, is because people kind of know who to play with. People understand who is open for the nonsense and the shenanigans and who isn't. So that's the reason why some of this content is going to come across as serious, because I really am trying to detour people who just want to be entertained. I don't want you. I can be sarcastic, I can be funny sometimes, but sometimes there's a time and a place for that. And some of my topics are serious. It's serious business. So I know that if you say I'm not too serious for you, then I know you're not serious enough. I know you have shenanigans and nonsense and chaos happening in your life. And I know that people are comfortable playing that position in your life because you've made it so. So people only take you as serious as you take yourself. The ultimate chess move is gaining power over yourselves. A lot of people are too busy trying to gain power over others, too busy offloading control or trying to control other people because they don't have control over themselves. The ultimate chess move is to have inherent control, to have emotional control, to have control of your decisions, to have control of your choices, to have control of your mindset, to have control of your perspective. That's the ultimate chess move, to have control. When you seek control outside of yourself, you're looking for external control. That's how I know you don't have control, because you're trying to gain control. Our ability, the thing that our body is trying to gain, is homeostasis. And if we can't get it internally, we're trying to get it externally. So you're trying to seek control outside of yourself because that's the only way that you feel that you're going to get or taste control. If you want to have control and have that ultimate chess move, have control of yourself. This also shuts down the nonsense and the chaos and the things that are out of place in your life. And this also improves the reflection that you will have. People will show up based off, they're going to be reflecting you anyway. So you're going to get the best of the best when you have control of yourself. But the more you continue to seek control outside of yourself, you're out here trying to figure out how to control men, how to control women, how to control experiences, how to control situations. That shows you more out of control than ever. The ultimate chess move is gaining control and power over yourself. Stop over apologizing. Like, this is one of the things I see in women a lot. They over apologize. Like, you're so insecure, you're so inside of yourself, you're so concerned about being rejected, or you're so concerned that people aren't going to like you that you over apologize. Now, I have nothing wrong with apologizing. I believe that we should all have the the gut to apologize when needed. But when you over apologize, it's giving your power away. It shows that you're somewhat insecure. Stop going into the world constantly over apologizing, saying, I'm sorry for this, I'm sorry for that, I'm sorry for this. Only apologize when it's necessary. If you're in the wrong, apologize. You don't lose anything. Apologize. Actually, you gain respect. People respect you more when you can actually own up to your situations or to your mistakes. Versus if you constantly just, I'm sorry, every time someone you say something wrong or someone get offended or if someone gets a trigger, I'm sorry. You're walking around over apologizing. It just shows you super insecure. You're giving your power away every I'm sorry you give. And I think I've already kind of went over my last one, and then I'll look in my comment section. Stop trying to be liked. Like, it takes courage. It's a powerful, it's a chess move if you don't care about being liked. It takes courage to be on social media for over 5 years. And I literally get people who reach out to me all the time and say, hey, you've been on social media for 5 years and you only got this far. So maybe I haven't ran across my tribe. Maybe my message need to be improved. Maybe it's not my time. I don't look at it as a bad time. I just look at it as an opportunity. I'm not concerned about people not liking me because I know that eventually I'll come across my people. My people will like me. My people will celebrate me. My people is going to support the content. So stop worrying about being liked. It helps nothing. It gives you nothing when you're constantly trying to walk around and tiptoe over people's feelings and people what people want from you because you're more concerned about being liked. You get yourself in situations because you want to be liked. You want to be accepted. You get yourself in relationships because you want to be liked. You wanted that person to like you and want something more with you. So I'm gonna take a pause there. And then I'm gonna look at the comment section, and then I'm a Anthony. I'm closing Instagram up so I can just focus on YouTube. Okay, I'm trying to get to the very first thing on Instagram. Amen. Yes, I learned that last year. This is crazy. Say that, girl. You speaking. Thank you so much. I have a quick question. Why are a lot of ladies asking about money before they get to know you? Because we live in a society that is a capitalist society, and people are trying to fit in where they get in. This is the way it is. This is the time we're in currently. Let me hold up. Let me remove somebody. Let me block somebody. Oh, I don't know. Instagram does this, and it's so hard to block while a live stream is going. But I'll write that name down, and I will block that person. Instagram need to get it where you can put people up here to kind of monitor the chat, so I don't have to. Then I would do both at the same time. But most of the time, it's trying to keep both active and going. All right, so let me go ahead and look over here, and I'll keep trying to let that go. But I haven't seen anything else to respond to. All I saw is someone triggered in the comment section on Instagram. Everybody's a reflection. So if you keep running into women that keep asking money, maybe they realize that you aren't worth it, and they see the only thing that's valuable in you is money. 'Cause I'm quite sure that's a man that's asking that question. Okay, so I'm gonna go over here in YouTube. Okay, Miss Concrete Rose, this is Wisdom. Bethany, I can hear you. Hello, Bethany, Miss Concrete Rose. I don't care what they think. I just want to stop being talked about. Don't worry about being talked about. If being talked about is actually your reputation and people are talking about you, they're talking you up good. People talking about you, good or bad, is actually good for you. People will know of you before they get to know, be introduced to you. So don't concern yourself about it. I definitely learned to process my emotions. I actually told a friend how I was feeling. She hasn't talked to me since. We have a lot of mutual friends, so I'm struggling to unfollow her on social media. Am I not disrespecting myself by not? If you feel like the best thing to do is to unfollow her on social media, then you should have did it yesterday. Then you should have did it yesterday. Because what type of friend is not going to respect how you're feeling? Like what type of friend is not going to respect you in that way? Like I said, sometimes we have to realize since everyone is in our lives, I don't care who it is, man, child, uh, jobs, experiences, situations, all those are reflections of what you're willing to accept. And the not either it is nonsense or it is supportive or you're winning in it. So you need to pay attention to who you're willing to accept and allow in your life. The signs and signals are there. I needed this. How do you grieve properly? Like I realized a lot of way I move is a result of not having the life I thought I should have strived for. Get in there and roll around on the floor. Get in there and roll around in the floor and punch the wind. Like let it out. Stop holding it in. It's truly grieve properly so you can actually release it. The more that you allow that type of emotion to sit in your body, the more it will cause havoc on your body. You may even find that you may gain weight, you may not feel focused, you may not feel good in your body. It's time to release that emotion. So maybe you have to get in and really grieve properly. Maybe you have to sit here and roll out around on the floor, punch in the air. Maybe you got to do all these things to release that grief, but baby, go ahead and do it. It's best to go ahead and release it now versus to hold it on and push it down and then for it to cause problems later on. How do you define what nonsense and what it is? The thing is, we always know what nonsense is. We know when we're staying too long when we're being disrespected. We know we're staying too long when we're being abused. We know we staying too long when we're not being treated right. Nonsense for you should be looking at: Am I staying when I am being mistreated? Am I staying when this person is disrespecting me? Am I? What makes this person feel safe around me doing so? Like some of y'all don't understand. Y'all make people feel safe and feel good being around you, disrespecting you. Y'all make people feel good and feel safe disrespecting you and making you feel like crap. Why does this person feel comfortable doing that to you? Why do they feel safe? Why do they feel like it's going to turn out well? Why do they feel good about that? You define nonsense by what you're willing to put up with. Thank you, bro. I have helped that friend so much over the last couple of years. So I do think it's what I need. I'm following her right now. Do what's needed. Do what's needed. Because people play with you when they feel like that they're going to be comfortable doing so. When you're making them comfortable doing so. When they know there's not going to be any consequences to the action, then they're going to be comfortable treating you any type of way and disrespecting you. Like I said, people know who to disrespect and who not to. I guarantee you that. That's the reason why all women don't have the same experiences. Because some women have learned that everything that they accept and allow is a reflection of them. And as long as that reflection is giving them signs and signals that something is right, they actually approach it and deal with it right now. They don't sit here and try to throw it off and say, oh, it's just because that person had a bad experience. They had a bad childhood. Oh, it's just because that person is having a bad day. Oh, it's just because that person doesn't know any better. People know how to treat each other. They really do. People know right from wrong. They've done the research on children, how children kind of have born, they inherently have that little bit of information of what's right and wrong. They can tell when they're doing something wrong, they tell you when they're doing something right. So you're going to tell me a grown, full adult don't know when they're doing something wrong or right? I call lies. I call BS because I know better. I think holding on to that pain is why I can't lose weight and have fibroids. Yes, absolutely. That's why it's time to release and let it go. Let me screenshot this person. I don't know. Instagram be funny. Because oh, there we go. Now I can do it. It took forever just to be able to click in and get that person out of here. All right, so Instagram, I'm gonna go ahead and close out. I'm gonna finish up on YouTube. And if you so you have you have anything you want to add to the conversation, then you want to go ahead and click the link in the stories, and it's gonna carry it over to YouTube. I see you all on the next one. What are good consequences to people trying you? See, that's the thing about it. It's not about trying to think about the what ifs or when someone do anything to you. It's having the confidence that you're gonna know what to do when the time is right. That's true power. True power is actually knowing what to do when the time is right. You shouldn't be trying to think of consequences because trust me, when someone does something to you, you're gonna know what to do. Just like when Bethany said, "Oh, I had the need to unfollow her because I feel like she's not hearing me." That's the consequence. She did not want her friend did not care about her feelings, so she unfollowed her. That's the consequence. You don't worry about trying to figure out how to create consequences or what's the right consequence because there's no right consequence. You'll know the right consequence when the thing happens. You'll be wasting too much mental energy trying to figure out the right consequence. Do you have moderators assist you? I do social media management. Girl, I don't know nothing about no moderators because I feel like right now I'm not big enough to even be concerned about it. That's the reason why I don't have any. When I grow, I definitely will look into the community forum in the first place. Do you think there is such a thing as doing too much trauma work? I think that doing too much trauma work can be a good thing, especially good. It can be a good or bad thing because it depends on if the trauma work is actually needed, or are you one of these people who are anticipating trauma or anticipating something happening? So then you're trying to work towards that thing. Like you have to focus on the things actually bothering you, the things that are hindering you living your best life. That's the thing you should focus in on. That's the thing you should focus in on. And I think that some people like I don't know where trauma and healing has become a what's the word for it? Because you can see it as I'm quite sure all of you all can see now that trauma and healing has become a gold mine. People are legit coming up with things that you have to work on every single day, even though that may not be your issue. So when you do it, it's not going to help you. It's not going to help you improve and become a better person or have the thing that you want in life because that's not the thing that's bothering you. That's not the thing. That's not your issue. So trauma and healing has become a gold mine where people are constantly coming up with something that triggers or something that's wrong or something that you got to heal from. I think you don't want to fall into that trap. I think that's a trap. But I think that's why it's so important to know yourself, know thyself. So you don't ever fall in that trap anyway, because you know yourself so well that you are not going to jump into issues that don't belong to you. Fair enough. Okay, let me know because I don't like folks being weird when you're on live. Yeah, I don't like it either, and it only happens every once in a while. I honestly, it only happens every once in a while. I don't know if it's because of the fact that I am a small content creator, or it may be because of the fact that when you operate in the way that I operate, I'm not as entertaining, and so since I'm not as entertaining, people don't have too much to say over here. I don't even have that many negative comments. I've been working on emotional attachment for the last 3 years. Last year, I stepped into my feminine and took a year off. Therapy, the attachment still comes up though. So I decided to keep going to therapy. Okay, babe, what we doing here? Like, there's an old expression that will work for this. And I love therapy just like the next person. I believe that therapy is much needed, but I also know that therapy shouldn't last that long. There should be an exit plan for therapy. It's not you can do the bulk of it yourself normally. Like once you work through the mire and the issues in therapy, you're supposed to have an exit plan so you can continue the work and be on the journey by yourself. So I would be if you feel that's the best thing for you, I'm not going to say come out of therapy, but I'm going to say this you need to kind of self reflect and look what's going on in therapy because you should be moving forward. 3 years is actually 3 years too long. It shouldn't take that long. Therapy is not meant to be that long. How do you balance healing and enjoying life? Every day, life is healing. And that's the reason why I take out time for myself every single day. I cut out a little bit of time just so I can be by myself, so I can kind of check into my emotional state and kind of make sure that I'm doing the work so that I can become better. So that is how you're going to do it. You're going to make it a part of your day. Make it a part, make it easy, something easy that you can do very easily, even if it's not long. You don't have to, healing doesn't require all day. It requires you doing little micro things that you can include in your day, maybe journaling, maybe praying, maybe affirmations, maybe therapy, little micro things that you can do daily so that you can be move forward in your healing. Something you said about people knowing not to play in your face really resonated with me. I used to take that as people not liking me or feeling comfortable with me. So I love that new perspective. You're welcome. Like I said, most people evaluate how much nonsense you're available for. And since I do have like some serious undertone, yes, I can be fun. Yes, I can be sarcastic. Yes, I can be entertaining. Yes, I can be playful. But my whole personality and the way that I lead my life, people don't play with me. I don't have these reflections of people trying to disrespect me because I am not open for nonsense. I'm not open for play. And they know that. I'm not open for disrespect. And they know that. So people can sense and see what you're open to and the level of nonsense that you're willing to allow. And then they go with it. And it just continues unless you put a stop to it. You're sitting here worried about them putting a stop to it. They're looking at you like that's a sucker. And a sucker is born every day. I know you say how I know you say know yourself. How can I become a better student of myself? I've spent my life becoming whoever I needed to be in a situation of avoid abuse. So now I'm lost. And you know what, Miss Concrete Rose 93, that's a beautiful question because guess what? Women are good at that. Women are good at that. Do you realize majority of women are just they became the women that they need so they can avoid being abused, that they can avoid being disrespected. They became the woman that they need, not the woman they wanted to become. So since you want to know yourself better, it's gonna have to actually be you're gonna have to have loving and gentle self-reflection. It's not when you're sitting in the back of your head, criticizing yourself and saying that you're not good enough. It's just gentle reflection and taking a step back and honing in on your patterns and how the people that you allow in your life and how you allow people to treat you or how you treat yourself. You're gonna have to kind of get into self-reflection mode and you're gonna have to be gentle with yourself while you're doing it. It's not meant for you to become obsessive and 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 guilty or feeling any type of shame. It's just meant for you to be lovingly gentle and self-reflect on how things are going in your life and how you're thinking about things and your perspective and your mindset and how you're what decisions you're making. Hone in on that and you'll get to know yourself better. Because no one should know you better than you know yourself. No one knows Braille better than I know Braille. I know what Braille's triggers are. I know what Braille don't like. I know what Braille is open for. I know what Braille, how Braille is going to live her life because I know Braille. You should know yourself better than anybody else. I need that energy because people try me like a Costco sample. They try you like a Costco sample because they feel like you're open to the shenanigans and nonsense. And they feel like here's a sucker born. Let me go ahead and take advantage of it. Let me disrespect him. I want you to ask yourself, why are people feeling safe? Why do people feel safe around me? Do they should they be able to feel safe comfortably being in your space and they disrespecting you? No. That's the reason why that people are doing these things because they feel safe, they feel comfortable, and they realize they can get away with it. They realize there's no consequences to their actions, and you're going to forgive them because of their past or their childhood or because they're not having a good day. And I'm not that girl. I'm a one hit quitter. I think I like therapy because I love talking to my therapist because we have similar world views. It's kind of like talking to a friend who's great at active listening, which I don't have. And see, that's the thing. That's the thing. The therapist job is there to actually move you forward so you can have and live your best life. The therapist job is not to be your friend. Just got on. You look gorgeous. Thank you, Pamela. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Bethany, sorry for going back and forth, but this is helping me understand what I'm doing and why. No problem. You're not really going back and forth. What I see here is a woman is trying to understand. That's what I see. I see a woman trying to understand, trying to figure this out. Because if you don't figure out, nobody is. No one is coming to save you, not even your therapist. Your therapist can't change your life. Only person can do that is you. Your therapist is supposed to nudge you in the right direction or help you get those inspired actions that you're supposed to be taking. And that's the reason why talk therapy there's been a lot of conversation surrounding talk therapy not being successful. And the more you're putting in the chat, the more I'm starting to believe that talk therapy isn't successful because you should have moved alone and moved around a long time ago. Thank you for answering that. One hit a quitter. That's what my issue is. I don't know how to leave people behind. And you're going to have to learn how to leave them behind. You're going to have to trust yourself and realize what the signs and signals are telling you, the reflection. Those people are reflecting you back. If you constantly get men or women that make you feel insecure, it is because you're more comfortable around being around people who make you feel insecure. There's certain part of yourself that you haven't accepted. Your everything in your world and your current reality is trying to reflect back to you to give you signs and signals so that you can improve. But if you choose not to pay attention to signs and signals, you won't improve. If you continue to say, oh, because of the fact that, oh, they just don't know me. Oh, they just gotta learn how to treat me. Oh, they had a bad childhood. Oh, they're just having a bad day. And if something shows up in my life and it is maybe I get someone who's very disrespectful as a new friend. I look at it as though, oh, there's something in me that's open to that disrespect. There's something in me that made her feel comfortable to her to speak to me in that manner. There's something in me that made her feel like it was going to be okay to do that. And then like I said, I'm one hit a quitter. I go ahead and cut her off because and then I go back into gently self-reflecting of what in me or why I decided that it was okay to accept, or why did I decide that was okay to allow, and how did we get here where I felt that one person was a good friend to me. I need to grieve lost friendships. How do you get comfortable being alone? By being alone. You truly do get comfortable by being alone. Um, that's the reason why it's so important that you carve out time being alone. That you carve out time just spending time with self, taking yourself out on dates. I love the little trend of taking people out, taking yourself out on dates, even though I feel like it was started for the wrong reasons. But if you're trying to get used to being alone, take yourself out. Go out for lunch, go out for drinks, go out and have fun by yourself. Get used to doing that. Get used to enjoying your company. And the more that you do that, the more comfortable and the more that you get to know yourself. You get to know yourself on a whole nother level. When we leave people behind, it makes room for new people to come in. Yes, it does. This is the word, not me realizing that I act just like my mother. I tried my whole adult life not to be like that lady, but a lot of my patterns are hers. But you know what? That's normal though. Like, don't even feel any guilt about that because I understand that position of being in that. I took that same perspective. Hey, I'm gonna not make the mistakes that my mother did, but then I realized I still had some of her ways. Like she gave part of her some of her my DNA is hers. She gave me her DNA. So some of the things that's inside of her came with her. And so some of the things you cannot help. But when you become self-aware of them and you reflect, now it's time to make different decisions and show up differently. Yeah, before I got married, I used to take myself out all the time because before I got married, I went through this whole process of kind of like really doing a deep dive and reflecting on how I was living and what I wanted out of life. And so that moved me to kind of let go of a lot of my friends, to let me go of all the places I was going out to let go of how I was showing up and how I wanted to represent myself. So I did a lot of changing, upgrading, and a lot of inner work during that period before I met my husband. And during that time, I took myself out a lot and I got used to my own company because I used to be a person that I like having people around. I like going places with a group. And so I couldn't do it took a lot of work going out for my first dinner just by myself. Like going out to dinner by myself and just enjoying it. It took probably like two to three times before I was comfortable doing it. My mother is toxic as so I'm a bit upset realizing I have her ways. How do you let go of these old friends? I just really just let them go. I realized that my dreams were big and I had a vision of how I wanted to live my life, and I knew that they couldn't come with me. And I knew that they would hold me back. So I really just let them go cold turkey. And so I think I made my journey a lot harder than it could have been because maybe I could have like let them go slowly. I did not. I knew that if I kept holding on to them, I was going to hold on to them like a safety blanket. And I didn't want a safety blanket. I just wanted to fly free. I wanted to jump out here and get the things that I wanted. I had a vision for my life, and I knew what my life was going to be. Before I lived it, I dreamed it, I saw it. And I saw this life. I saw the current life that I have now. I saw it back then, 20 plus years ago. And I knew in order for me to go there, I was going to have to leave some people along the way. It's not because they were bad people. It is because they were going in a different direction. And I knew that if I had to choose that friendship, I may have to sacrifice that vision. And I wasn't willing. So I went cold turkey and I cut everybody off. And I legit had to go out by myself. I legit had to go to events by myself for a while. And after a while, it just got very easy. It got so easy. I was like, hold up, pump your brakes. You don't want it so easy that you don't ever want to be be with someone. You don't want it so easy to be alone that you don't want to be in, you found it was more easier to be in a relationship. I didn't want that level of easy, but I needed it to make it where I could be alone. And then in that time, in that period of time that I did that, that's when I really, really started to hear and really connect with God. I really started to hear his voice. I really started to have that and those inspired actions. I really started to hearing where I needed to go and what I needed to do. It was clear as day. But I had so much outside interference, I couldn't hear anything. Sometimes your friends, they are blocking you from hearing the inspired actions that you need to take because they're not meant to go with you. So they're a distraction. Wow, I'm so surprised you hear you were like that. Yes, absolutely. It just happens because I remember, I'll never forget this moment where I realized that I had my mother's stubbornness, and her stubbornness had got her in trouble a lot. It means that she was so stubborn she wouldn't listen to advice or receive help. So I had that in me, and I had to release it. And that's the thing I hated about her growing up is the stubbornness and the inability to receive. I hated that about her, but guess what? Since she's my mother and she has contributed to some of my DNA, I took that on too. And during that time, I had to start unlearning bad behaviors and habits, and I had to let people go. I had to really learn and know myself. I had to really get involved in who is Braille and really be able to answer that question. Not knowing what Braille like to do, but knowing who Braille is at the core. And I had to do that 20 plus years ago. This shows me there is hope on the other side of this journey that I'm terrified to take. Yes. 9 out of 10 we having this conversation. This is your sign. This is your sign to take the first step and to get on that path. What did I tell you all? Even you don't even have to see me face to face for my energy to reflect my community. That's the reason why a lot of people that follow me, they resonate with it because you're my reflection. You're the reflection of things I had to do and the things I had to handle. That's the reason why I'm able to guide and support you on your journey because I've already done it. but you're my reflection. Child, I got work to do. Yes. And it just so happened I was viewed this live. I usually always miss them. Signs, signs and signals, signs and signals. Everything in your life, your reality that you want to create is a reflection. It's on you to figure out what that reflection means. Hey, a space K, a safe space for with K. I'm in a space where I don't want to hear any femininity content related to me. I want to do only self work right now, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. I have, of course, I have content from for women who are looking to date and be with a man, but I also have content that does not align to that. Like I have different content, especially if you consider a membership, a lot of that content that's not about men because femininity is not about men. The joke's on a lot of the people who believe that it is. It isn't. Femininity is about self. It's about knowing thyself. That's what femininity, feminine energy is supposed to be about. We've gotten so far away from what it truly means. That's the reason why you see so many different content on it. I have to go for a meeting, but thank you as always got the wonderful insight. Thank you, Bethany. Thank you for your support. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. So thank you for being one of the few women that create that content. I don't mind. I actually love this type of content. This content is like one of my favorites because I know that if you get this content, there's a ripple effect that happens. You start to date better men. You start to have better friends. You start to have better experiences. You start to put yourself in proximity. So it starts with this content. This is the content that a lot of women reject. They want to hear about men. They want to talk about men. They want to center men. Majority of women center men. They don't pay attention to this type of content. I talk about taking your power back, being powerful, being the spiritual standard, being a feminine leader, being a woman, and stepping into your womanhood. A lot of women don't like that content. So I appreciate you being the reflection of me, of being the type of woman who understands that this content is needed. Hearing about men and centering me is how I ended up stuck in the same place for years. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because the whole focus is on how to be the woman that man needs. That's what the focus is on. It's not about you being your authentic self. It's not about you aligning to your purpose and vision. It's not about you reclaiming your power and being the woman that you were meant to be, that God has called you to be. It's about you being the woman that a man needs. And that's what most content is. And I have no problem talking about men. As you know, I have tons of content about men. But I understand it starts here. It starts with you taking back everything that 2023 took from you in 2024. This can be your starting point, and you will see the ripple effect from it. It takes you doing the inner work so that you can bring in the type of people that are the reflection that you desire. It's about you being self reflective and being able to process your emotions and become the woman that God has called. That is what it truly is about. Where should I begin on your YouTube video to get the self empowering content? I don't think there may be a playlist for healing. I'm not sure. Let me look and see right quick, like if there's a playlist because there was, but a lot of that content is behind in membership because that content is not interesting to a lot of women. Okay, look at this right here. Look at this video right here. This should have been a video. This video should have lots of women in it because this is their starting point. This is their ripple effect right here. If you can get some of the things I said down in this video, this is going to change who you date and who you bring into your space. Make sure you all like the video, by the way. Okay. But I do have some things. Oh, go to the Queen Conscious videos. That has some empowerment videos in it. Inner Work Reading is a good playlist. Go to Inner Work and Self-Discovery in my playlist. And the videos in there now are like how to develop discipline, stop self-sabotaging yourself, rejecting limiting beliefs, and date men who like you. The art of emotional intelligence, when emotions become weapons. How can I trust and surrender? Be truly vulnerable. Get rid of negative imprinting. So go to those playlists, and that will help you. Go to Inner Work playlist. Go to Queen Consciousness. And there's a playlist called Feminine Empowerment. I've done a lot in empowerment content. Got it. When I get my money up, I'll rejoin the membership. Yes. Also, I sent this video in multiple group chats. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Like, I have a wonderful community. Like I said, y'all are my reflection. I love it. I think a lot of women focus outward and are still in victimhood. I pray they discover power of accountability. Yes, you hit the nail on the head. A lot of women want to believe that it is somebody else, that somebody is going to come and save them. And I wish it was true. I wish that someone could come and save them because some women need saving. But the truth of the matter is that if you're going to be saved, it's going to come from you. You're going to have to save yourself. You're going to have to take accountability. Instead of taking accountability in a way that stunts your growth, take accountability in a way that you are accepting your your past decisions and moving forward with better choices and better decision making. Like, move forward in accountability and the power that it has and watch your life change. You will have a ripple effect just from that alone. If you were to go 30 days taking accountability for your own self, not someone else's. I'm not talking about taking accountability because of the fact someone said this or someone did this or someone acted in this way. I'm saying taking 30 days and taking accountability for yourself and your decisions. That can change your life just that alone. That can start the ripple effect that you need. Because what you need in order to take everything back that 2023 took from you, you need a ripple effect. You need change. You need transformation. That's the reason why I feel like that we're getting to a space where people are getting comfortable with throwing it off on someone else and just being a victim. And the more that you be in that victimhood, the less change and transformation you're gonna have. When you could have been living a different type of life, like you really do. If you want to have the best 2024 you ever had, start creating a ripple effect. Yes, I'm glad, and it changed mine also, Daisy B. Just going into to accountability and doing it in the way where I'm loving myself in that accountability versus guilting myself for my past decision, feeling heavy shame because I didn't make the right decisions, feeling guilty because I can't change that decision. I just went in accountability like, okay, what's done is done. I made the best decisions at the time with the information I had. Now let me go forward and make better decisions. I definitely have to get rid of the guilt and regret and ruminating thoughts of the past. You can't change it. And one of the things that was really powerful for me when I was going through this process years ago is when if you were to go and take a look at the people that you're feeling guilty about, or you feel like they should feel guilt for you, or they're feeling some type of regret, or you feel regret for the thing, they're living their best life. They're not concerned about you. Remember what I said that most people don't care about you. Most people ain't concerned about what you're doing. They're not. And when you get that and you start really focusing on yourself, it creates a ripple effect. And you start to live a different life, a better life, and you start becoming the woman that God has ordained, has called you to be. You can't become the woman that God wants you to be if you keep holding on to guilt, shame, and regret. You can't, because all of that is going to hold you back and keep you stuck. But it is time to take back everything 2023 took from you in 2024. It's time. No longer are we going in circles. No longer are we doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting something different. No longer are we accepting and open to nonsense and shenanigans. No longer are we going to allow people to feel safe treating us and disrespecting us and abusing us. No longer are we doing that in 2024. Definitely got to get rid of that fear of missing out. I feel like folks are living their best lives without me. Most time people are going through some of the similar things that you're going through. Even people who have a lot, they're still dealing and they're still on their journey. They're still having to go through the process of their own emotions. They're still focusing in on the things that they need to change and they need to up level in. If you spent even half of that time focusing on yourself, you'll start that ripple effect that I talk about. You're not missing out on anything. Your time is your time. All right. I don't see any other questions or comments in the chat. So I want to make sure that you all take the time to kind of like the video. Remember, we have our Co-Creator Mastermind. The time is winding down. We're still enrolling. We continue to enroll until the 19th. After the 19th, I won't reopen that mastermind probably until the summertime. It's going to be 6 weeks. We're going to have live sessions, and I'm going to teach you how you can, instead of you dreaming, F your dreams. I'm tired of you dreaming about things. I'm tired of you dreaming about having a better life. I'm tired of you dreaming about how it could be. F your dreams. Let's have it now. If that is your sentiment and that's how you're going to move forward in 2024, go ahead and secure your spot in Co-Creator Mastermind. Because now it's time to make your dreams reality. Everything that I dreamed about, I have. Everything that I envisioned, I live. And I want that for you. And I want to teach you my process. And I want to help you have that for yourself. Like, stop dreaming about having the things and only experiencing it on the spiritual realm instead of having in this reality in this physical plane. So if this is you and you're like, I'm over it, I'm tired of it, I want it now. I'm tired of dreaming about living this high class life. I'm tired of dreaming about being with a man that loves me. I'm tired of dreaming about of having more than enough. I'm tired about dreaming about what my purpose is. You want to move forward? Get into this. It's going to be very intense, and it's only for the women who won't or ready for the intensity of it. You ready to do the work? I'm ready to support you. Secure your spot. The link is going to be closed down on the 19th because we're going to get started this Saturday, 20th. And it's going to be over Zoom. I have a meeting at 3, so I have to run, but thank you so much. How much is that workshop? The workshop link, if you click that link, it will carry you on into, it's in the chat. It's right here in the chat. And you can go ahead and use code REINVENT and get a discount. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you, your favorite insurance agent. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you all. Make sure you take time to like the video and comment on the replay. For those who are wanting to get your secure your seat, go in, because as soon as that number hit, we close down enrollment. We might close enrollment down very quickly, especially if we hit that number, because I don't want too many women. I want just the right amount of number of women so that we can get into it. We can get to it, because I'm tired of your dream. You're just dreaming. You're doing nothing with your dreams. F your dreams, because that's all you do. You daydream. I want to put your daydreams to use so you can have the thing now and in this reality instead of dreaming about it. I want you to start holding things in your hand instead of dreaming about having it there. And so I will see you all on the next one. I'm about to go out to lunch with my baby girl. And you all have a wonderful, wonderful day. See you on the next one. Bye.